9:31, so let's get this webinar started. Jeanne, Edna, you both with me?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here, Allison.
Wonderful. Okay. So Jeanne, if you could hit the record button on your GoToMeeting screen so we can save this for posterity. And then we are going to go through the presentation, and then there'll be a short question and answer session afterwards. And so, Jeanne, why don't you take it away?
Great. Well, welcome everybody. We're so pleased to have you. I'm Jeanne McCarty, the CEO of Real School Gardens, and with me is Edna Chirico, who you all know, and I'm going to hand it over to Edna to kick off our webinar, but thanks everyone for joining us.
Well, hello. I know that this is a difficult time for a lot of our teachers and principals and resource partners, and we had very limited notice, but we wanted to record this so all of you who have been such an important part of Green Teacher Network will hear a little bit about all the enhanced benefits and values that the merger between Real School Gardens and Green Teacher Network will bring you. We are now Real School Gardens Carolinas region, and we are so proud to be providing enhanced training for teachers, proven learning gardens aligned with exemplary curriculum. All of you former Purple Carrots, Orange Carrots, and all of our principals and teachers are going to be thrilled with this enhanced level of support. With me today, who already introduced herself, is Jeanne McCarty, who's the CEO of Real School Gardens. She has been creating this national vision for a number of years now. Jeanne, is there anything you want to add at this point?
Well, I just want to say that we're also very excited to be part of this and have Real School Gardens launch in the Carolinas. I've been so impressed with everything that has been built in Charlotte, and particularly around the Green Teacher Network, all the amazing teachers and schools that are involved, and so we're really proud to welcome you into Real School Gardens.
Thank you. Allison, are you moving the screen forward, or give me a little lesson here?
That is me, and so thank you for the reminder.
Okay. We're a team. We may be apart by 1,000 miles, but we're a team. So today we're going to cover 4 things. We're going to cover why we merged, and Jeanne's going to tell us a little bit about Real School Gardens more in depth, as I'm still in training mode. We're going to share with you what this means for you, and then you're going to have a chance to answer, to ask any questions you might have. Jeanne, do you want to talk through the first 2 points, or should we just go ahead and talk about why this was so important to Green Teacher Network?
Yeah, let's go ahead and move through, and we can talk about you know, why this is important, and then I'll talk a little bit about Real School Gardens.
Okay. Well, as you know, over the past 5 years, we have worked with Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools and Mecklenburg County Health Department to support school gardens. Green Teacher Network has grown to over 200 schools identified in the Charlotte area as Orange Carrots, and we now connect with over 2,000 teachers and informal educators who also support school gardens. Many of you have attended workshops where you learned gardening skills and how to incorporate tastings. Most all of you received a copy of our School Garden Guide book. 65 of you schools out there built native plant pollinator gardens this last April. 2 things that you repeatedly told us in your surveys and inquiries were: 1, you need additional skill development and training. Many of you would like this to happen at your school. And 2, you want curriculum which aligns with North Carolina Central Standards. We heard you. Over the past 4 years, I've been searching and connecting with organizations around the U.S. to try and find the best mentors and resources possible. That best is Real School Gardens. Over the past 18 months, I have repeatedly met with and strategized with their CEO, Jeanne McCarty. She became my mentor, and I am so proud to now be able to call her my boss as we launch Real School Gardens, Carolinas.
Thank you so much, Edna, and I just want to start by saying that the feeling is completely mutual, that when I first met Edna and learned about Charlotte Green Teacher Network, I was excited, I was inspired, and I just knew that we had to work together. So we have been kind of putting those putting everything in place to make it happen. Real School Gardens is dedicated to increasing the amount of time that students spend engaged in hands-on experiential learning, and particularly in the outdoors. So we've done this for more than 12 years, and we've worked with more than 10 school districts across Texas and the Mid-Atlantic regions. And so, you know, I look at the Green Teacher Network, and I see that Edna has also identified and worked with just an incredible network of you all, teachers and schools, with a very common goal, and just amazing progress. So this past year, when we launched a growth plan for Real School Gardens, we plan to grow to 6 total regions and 15 cities over the next 4 years. The first region that came to mind for me in terms of a new region was the Carolinas, and it's because of what you all have built there and Edna's leadership, and just what I saw was just an amazing opportunity to kind of grow a much larger network of teachers so you all can also share across the country with each other. So I reached out to Edna, we talked about it, and Edna was also had been impressed with our offerings, and we decided that this is what we're going to do. So we came together, and if you think of the merger, it's same network of schools, same team in the Carolinas, but new opportunities and a new name. And also the great opportunity to become part of something, you know, even beyond the Carolinas, so you can now connect with teachers across the country. And together, we are going to get more and more schools and students engaged in hands-on learning through outdoor learning gardens. So what I wanted to share with you now is just give you an introduction to Real School Gardens. Again, I think that a lot of our mission was very well aligned to begin with, but our mission here at Real School Gardens is to create learning gardens that grow successful students. And we think of success in 2 ways. So first, there's academic success. So we want to make sure that students, particularly at the elementary level, gain those foundational academic concepts so they can be successful in elementary school and beyond. But success is even broader than that, because children have to be healthy to succeed in life and also to succeed in school. So we also look at ways to build healthy habits for kids and expose them to the outdoors, to growing fresh fruits and vegetables. So we create learning gardens that grow successful students. And we were created by teachers and principals, and with teachers and principals in mind. So we are not an organization that wants to add anything to your to-do list, but we want to really be here to help you do your jobs better. And we know that teachers know how critical it is to get students deeply engaged in hands-on experiential learning. It's proven to be an effective teaching strategy, and we know it works. So at Real School Gardens, we put every effort into making teaching outdoors as easy as possible, and to help you teach more effectively, have more effective classrooms, and give students this great experience in which to learn. And we also know that when students are engaged, when they're outdoors and engaged in hands-on learning, that they actually become more engaged academically. And so for students, it's a better experience of learning. It brings them back to kind of what is joyful and wonderful about learning, and also then builds that foundation so they can do succeed in elementary school and beyond. So we are seeing amazing results. We give you, as teachers, the tools that you need to be more effective. We get students more engaged, and we see great academic success and results. So over the course of our history, we've also been engaged in program evaluation to tease out what the impact of Real School Gardens is. And I know when Edna first started looking at organizations across the country, this is one thing that was very appealing to her, is that we were about results. So we're really about measuring what our direct impact is on teachers and students in schools. So this is a snapshot of our results and what we've seen over the course of our years of practice. So first, we see more engaged students. With more than 5,000 surveys that we do with teachers after every professional development event, we've seen that 94% of educators say that their students are significantly more engaged when they're learning in experiential, hands-on ways in their outdoor classrooms. So definitely seeing more engaged students. We're also seeing more effective teachers, and teachers are reporting that they're better prepared as educators, as a result of our training and our programs, they are moving up on an effectiveness scale that we are using, and they're also seeing higher job satisfaction. And that's, that's because that teachers, when they see their students more engaged and they feel effective in their teaching practice, become much more excited and engaged in the profession of teaching. So more engaged students, more effective educators, and then long-term results. We've seen a 12 to 15% increase in test scores, particularly in science, across our partner schools. We've also seen a lot of long-term success in terms of the gardens and outdoor classrooms that we're building, where 97% of the Real School Gardens partnerships that we've initiated over the past 12 years are still active and still involved. And so to us, that speaks to the long-term success of our program. So how do we get to these results? I want to break it down with you in kind of two simple ways. First, we give our schools the tools that they need to get kids engaged and teachers engaged in hands-on learning. So the tools to us are the outdoor classroom, the school garden, any outdoor space that your school may have. We also feel like having a space is not enough, that teachers also benefit from being trained on how to actually utilize that space to be effective teachers. So in addition to the tools, we train teachers how to use their outdoor classrooms as instructional tools, and with the whole purpose of engaging more kids in hands-on learning. So if we look at these a little more specifically, so our tools are the learning gardens. They're also your school gardens that you may already have, or anything that you may have as an outdoor space. I know Edna mentioned that there are a lot of pollinator gardens also in Charlotte, and that the surrounding area that Green Teacher Network has put in place. So those are the tools. We help both create those tools, but we also help revitalize tools that you already have. So adding features as simple as whiteboards, seating, things that can help your outdoor space and what you currently have become more teachable. If you don't have an outdoor classroom or school garden, I think most of you do, but if you don't have one that you think is broad enough for teaching and learning, we also partner with corporate funders to help build that, and we lead you through a process of design, student design competition, design with teachers, and then a build day that we call the Big Dig, and we bring everybody out to build the garden in a day. So that's what the tool is, and that's what the tool looks like. And there are a number of ways that you can engage with us to make sure that you have the right tools in place. But we also, again, the heart of what we do is our teacher training. So we provide ongoing professional development for teachers through our partnerships. So we have trainings that will include the entire faculty and staff on campus in training on the use of the garden. We also provide more one-on-one instructional coaching for teachers. So our staff, which are all highly effective teachers that come out of school systems, work side by side with your teachers to train them on or to coach them on using the garden. And then we pull schools together in multi-school trainings. I think that that's something that you all have done a lot of, and I think it's very valuable to be side by side with other teachers who are also using the outdoors to engage in more hands-on experiential learning. And then this is just kind of shows you our method of coaching. So we're there side by side with you, and working with you and your students to actually bring that, turn that outdoor space into an outdoor classroom. And then the final thing we do too is provide ongoing support and programming. So once you have gone through a partnership with us and we have kind of helped you get the tool in order, also provided you with that training, our schools move into what we call evergreen support, and it's just an ongoing support system where we'll continue to provide lead teachers with training and materials and plantings, very much like the Purple Carrot program that you have there in Charlotte. So this is what it looks like when you think of what this might mean for you. So we have 3 partnership options that we, for our schools. If you do not have a garden in place or an outdoor classroom, then we partner with you for 3 years to first build that outdoor classroom, to then go through our 2-year teacher training program. And that's a 3-year partnership that then moves into the sustainability program, which is evergreen support. If you do have a garden, there are two options that we work with you in terms of our partnerships. One is just launch our teacher training program so we can get more of the teachers on your campus utilizing the garden for teaching and learning. Or we can help redesign or enhance the current space that you have so that it becomes more of a teachable space. After that's completed, then you flow into our teacher training program and then our Evergreen program. We have an application process for partnerships, so every year we'll be taking more schools into our Build and Train program, which is the first one I mentioned, or our teacher training and support program. So we'll do that through an application process. Our schools do contribute a partnership fee when they come on board with us, but we raise the lion's share of what's needed to implement the partnership long term. We also often partner with school districts and other public funding sources to provide the partnership fees as well. So those are the avenues that we have, and that's what it looks like. I'm really excited to launch an application process in Charlotte and also to just get to know you all and what your needs are there specifically, because I know that you guys are ahead of the game in a lot of ways because you've already got so many great learning spaces in place. So I'm going to pass it back now to Edna, and at the end we'll also take some questions. So just think about any questions that you may have that will clarify kind of what this looks like or what this may mean for you, and we'll answer that toward the end of the session.
Thank you so much, Jeanne. We're so excited to be bringing this resource to North and South Carolina. But this coming school year, we're going to focus, as we have in the past, on Charlotte, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, with some opportunities for more regional engagement. The first program that you'll be able to join us at is on August the 23rd at Winding Springs Elementary, and we'll be sending out a number of notices. This is very similar to our workshop that we've been doing for the last 2.5 years, but it's going to have all of the Real School Gardens components. It's going to have learning coaches with a lot of experience flying in from Dallas and Washington, D.C. to help share with our engaged teachers the opportunities ahead of them in this partnership with Real School Gardens. That particular workshop is going to include lunch, and it's going to have a $15 fee. We're also going to be working primarily with those Purple Carrot schools, our most engaged schools this coming school year, and letting them go through the application process and choose the level of engagement that's best for them. They will all be part of this team approach of Evergreen, and you're going to see some of those principals choose to go into a more depth on-campus training, and some choose to really get in line for this enhanced garden build program, also called the Big Dig. So you'll get a much better sense of all the programs at the online or the hands-on outdoor instructional event on August 23rd. Or if you want to have any additional one-on-one information, you know that I am here. We have set up offices in the Midtown area, the Realtor building, real close to Metropolitan, and our numbers and emails all work. So please feel free to call us at any point in time so we can share the exciting news of Real School Gardens with everyone who's been connected within the network for the last several years. So I think now we'll go ahead and open it up for any questions that we might have, and I think Jeanne and I are going to click on our little webcam so you can see who's been talking to you. We'll see, maybe.
Hold on. Hi. Edna, are you there?
I think so. I'm still learning all the technology. So we're here. Not sure, since we have a few people online, if there are any questions or if maybe they want to just prefer to send those in to us direct. So we'll just take Allison's lead and see if anyone has any questions. I think they're quiet today.
Remember that if you're on mute, to hit and ask a question, you're welcome to put a question, or if it's something that can be taken, you can certainly email us. What would be the best email for folks to use, or would that be you directly?
Yeah, why don't you give it to me directly? Do you want me to type it on, or you have that, Allison?
Put it into the chat. Yep.
But my old email will work for a while too. So if you don't have anything to write with. Allison, you want to take a second and let them know what to expect from a transfer over standpoint? I think we've been talking about websites. The Real School Garden website is going to come online with a little more information about this regional office in the next month.
Sure, absolutely. So what we have been working through is rolling out the information to our most important stakeholders, and as educators and as long-term partners, make sure that you guys were fully informed and had all of your questions before we announced publicly. Taking place, I'll start to bit by bit alert people on the Green Teacher Network website and on the Real School website that merger thing, and then I will move to channel.
I think we're having. Can you hear me?
Or we have connection issues.
We're having a little. I don't know if it's just me or Edna or you as well. Allison kind of going in and out.
We're here breaking. Let's. It doesn't look like so. Let's run video feeds or goodbyes, and feel free to contact us. This webinar will be and posted on any time.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm not sure if you're hearing me very well because I know we've lost a lot of there's been some static, but please feel free to contact me directly, and I'm going to post my mobile number in case you have any other questions, and you'll be hearing from us in the next month about how we're transitioning all this, all the wonderful, and you'll be hearing more about the wonderful assets and planning that's going in place with this transition. So thank you very much for taking your time today, and once again, we welcome Real School Gardens and are so excited about being the Carolinas Regional Office to support their truly transformational programming. Thank you.
Thank you so much.